Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's session. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you all. Today, we'll be exploring the exciting topic of risk-based validation of AI systems in GMP environments. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. Over the course of this presentation, we'll discuss how to implement effective validation strategies for AI in regulated settings, focusing on risk management approaches. So let's get started and see how these concepts can help us ensure safety, compliance, and innovation in our processes. Let's start by looking at how artificial intelligence, or AI, is increasingly becoming a part of our pharmaceutical environment. You'll notice that AI technologies are now being used across various areas such as manufacturing, quality control, laboratories, and quality systems. The main goal here is to improve operational efficiency, enable better predictive analysis, automate processes, and support smarter decision-making. Now, in regulated environments like those following good manufacturing practices, or GMP, it's not enough just to implement AI systems. We need to make sure these systems are validated properly. And that's where a risk-based approach comes in. By assessing potential risks, we can ensure that AI consistently performs as it should without compromising the quality of the product, patient safety, or the integrity of data. Moving on to why this is so important. First, supporting reliable AI system performance really builds confidence in these technologies. Second, ensuring we meet regulatory requirements keeps us compliant and avoids potential issues. Third, properly validating AI reduces operational and quality risks, helping us catch problems before they impact patients or products. Additionally, strong validation and controls help strengthen data integrity, which is crucial for trustworthy decision-making. And ultimately, all of this together helps us protect patient safety and maintain high product quality. So, in essence, effective validation of AI isn't just a regulatory box to check. It's a vital part of safeguarding both the product and the patients we serve. Let's take a closer look at the concept of risk-based validation. Essentially, this is a systematic approach where we plan and carry out validation activities based on the level of risk involved. The key idea here is that not all AI systems pose the same level of risk, so our validation efforts should be proportional to that risk. When we talk about risk, we're considering its impact on product quality, patient safety, and data integrity. These are critical factors in our industry, and they guide how we prioritize validation activities. The main objectives of this approach are to focus our validation efforts on the most critical risks, so we're not wasting resources on low-risk areas, and to optimize how we use our validation resources overall. We want to ensure that our controls are scientifically justified, which adds credibility and rigor to our process. By doing so, we also improve compliance efficiency, making it easier to meet regulatory expectations without unnecessary burdens. And at the core of this concept is a simple but important principle. Systems that pose a higher risk require more rigorous validation and closer oversight. This ensures we're applying the appropriate level of scrutiny where it's needed most, maintaining safety and quality across the board. Today, I want to highlight some key aspects of quality systems and how AI is transforming our approach. First, we have CAPA trend analysis, which helps us identify patterns over time and address root causes more effectively. Deviation prediction is another critical area. By forecasting potential issues before they happen, we can take proactive steps to maintain quality. Risk assessment support ties into this by providing data-driven insights to evaluate and mitigate risks throughout our processes. Moving on to AI applications in GMP environments, we see significant advances in manufacturing. Predictive maintenance, for instance, allows us to anticipate equipment failures and schedule maintenance proactively, reducing downtime. Process optimization ensures our manufacturing runs as efficiently as possible, while real-time monitoring keeps us constantly aware of process conditions, enabling quick adjustments. Automated visual inspection further enhances quality by identifying defects faster and more accurately than manual checks. In the laboratory setting, AI is just as impactful. Chromatographic data analysis streamlines complex data interpretation, making it easier to spot trends and anomalies. Stability trend prediction helps us forecast product stability over time, supporting better decision-making. Intelligent data review tools assist us in analyzing vast datasets more efficiently, ensuring accuracy and consistency. Lastly, OOS and OOT trend analysis enables us to detect out-of-specification or out-of-trend results early, so we can take corrective actions swiftly. Overall, these AI-driven tools and strategies are empowering us to enhance quality, improve efficiency, and maintain compliance across all areas of our operations. Now, let's take a closer look at the AI validation lifecycle. This is a systematic process that ensures our AI systems perform reliably and meet all necessary compliance standards throughout their development and deployment. We start with the User Requirement Specification, or URS, which is all about understanding and clearly defining what the end users need from the system. Next, we move to the Functional and Design Specifications, where we translate those user needs into detailed technical descriptions and design plans. Following that, a comprehensive risk assessment is conducted to identify potential issues that could impact performance or compliance, allowing us to address them proactively. Once the design is ready, we proceed to Installation Qualification, or IQ, which verifies that the system has been installed correctly according to specifications. Then, during Operational Qualification, or OQ, we test that the system operates as intended under controlled conditions. Performance Qualification, or PQ, comes next, where we confirm that the system performs consistently and effectively in real-world scenarios. Finally, periodic review and revalidation are essential to maintain confidence in the system over time, ensuring it continues to meet its objectives and standards. The key objective throughout this life cycle is to ensure that our AI systems reliably deliver their intended performance while adhering to all regulatory and compliance requirements. This structured approach helps us build trust in our AI solutions and supports continuous improvement. When it comes to regulatory expectations, it's important to remember that the level of validation effort should match the risks we identify. Essentially, the higher the risk, the more thorough our validation process needs to be. To help us assess those risks, there are several common tools we can use. For example, FMEA, or Failure Mode and Effects Analysis, is a systematic way to identify potential failure points and evaluate their impact. Then there's HACCP, which is particularly useful in food safety, but also applicable in other areas to analyze hazards and determine critical control points. Risk ranking and filtering help us prioritize which risks need immediate attention, and fishbone analysis, also known as cause and effect diagrams, helps us dig into root causes of potential issues. In the context of AI validation, risk assessment becomes even more critical because AI systems can influence many aspects of healthcare and other industries. When we conduct these assessments, we focus on key areas such as how the product might impact quality, patient safety, and data integrity. We also look at how critical AI decisions are to overall outcomes, the complexity of the system, and cybersecurity vulnerabilities that could be exploited. And of course, regulatory impact is always at the forefront, since all of these factors can influence compliance and approval processes. So, by thoroughly evaluating these focus areas, we ensure that our validation efforts are aligned with the actual risks, ultimately supporting safer, more reliable AI systems that meet regulatory standards. Let's take a closer look at some of the validation challenges that come with AI systems. One major concern is their dynamic learning behavior, which means these models can change over time as they learn from new data. This makes validation more complex because the system isn't static. Then, there's the issue of black box algorithms, where even experts can find it difficult to understand how the AI arrives at its decisions. This lack of explainability can be problematic, especially in high-stakes situations. Bias in training datasets is another critical challenge. If the data used to train the AI contains biases, those biases can be reflected in the system's outputs, leading to unfair or inaccurate results. Additionally, since many AI models are frequently updated to improve performance, maintaining consistency and validation over time becomes a challenge. Reproducibility is also a concern. Being able to reliably reproduce results is fundamental, but it can be difficult with complex or evolving models. Moving on to regulatory concerns, it's essential that AI systems provide outputs that are not only reliable, but also traceable and scientifically explainable. This transparency is vital for building trust and ensuring compliance with standards and regulations. Our ultimate objective, then, is to maintain control over these adaptive and evolving AI technologies. We need to ensure that, despite their complexity and ongoing updates, we can validate and trust their outputs. This way, we can harness the power of AI while managing its inherent challenges responsibly. Let's talk about data integrity and ALCOA plus compliance, which are essential for ensuring trustworthy and traceable electronic records. This is a key regulatory focus because maintaining data integrity underpins the reliability of our information and supports compliance efforts. Now, when it comes to AI, there are specific risks related to data integrity that we need to be aware of. These include uncontrolled data modification, which can lead to inaccurate or manipulated data. Incomplete audit trails are another concern because they make it difficult to trace how data has been handled or changed over time. Inaccurate model predictions can stem from poor data quality, and weak review processes of AI outputs may allow errors to go unnoticed. To mitigate these risks, we must ensure our AI data is reliable by adhering to the principles of being attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, accurate, complete, consistent, enduring, and available. These principles help us maintain data that is trustworthy, traceable, and fit for purpose. Ultimately, by focusing on these elements, we reinforce the integrity of our data and support compliance with regulatory standards, which is vital for building confidence in our AI systems and maintaining ethical standards across our operations. Let's talk about audit trails and electronic records, which are essential for maintaining transparency and accountability. First, traceability and monitoring involve capturing user activities and any changes made within the system. This helps us understand who did what and when. We also record AI-generated outputs and any modifications, ensuring we have a clear record of how decisions are made. Tracking manual overrides and interventions is equally important, especially when human input alters automated processes. Maintaining accurate date and timestamps is critical for establishing a reliable timeline of events. And of course, we need to prevent unauthorized deletions or edits to protect the integrity of the data. Now, moving on to regulatory expectations. Compliance with standards like 21 CFR Part 11 and Annex 11 is fundamental. These regulations set the requirements for electronic records and signatures, ensuring data integrity. Regular periodic reviews of critical audit trails are necessary to verify ongoing compliance and identify any irregularities. Additionally, all electronic systems must be secure and validated, meaning they are tested and verified to operate correctly and securely. These practices are vital not only for meeting regulatory demands, but also for maintaining trust in our systems and data. Connecting this to our overall theme, robust audit trails and strict regulatory adherence are key to ensuring the reliability and integrity of our digital records in any regulated environment. Let's talk about the importance of human review in our processes. Human oversight responsibilities are critical to ensure that AI-generated recommendations are thoroughly checked. It's essential that we review these recommendations carefully to catch any potential issues early on. When it comes to critical GMP decisions, human approval is necessary to maintain accountability and ensure compliance. We also need to investigate any anomalies or deviations that might arise, as humans bring context and judgment that AI alone can't provide. Monitoring the performance of AI systems regularly is another key responsibility, helping us identify areas for improvement and ensure ongoing reliability. Now, moving on to governance requirements. Having well-defined SOPs and clear responsibilities helps create a structured approach to oversight. Change control procedures are vital to manage modifications systematically, minimizing risk. Periodic performance reviews of both systems and processes ensure everything stays on track and any issues are addressed promptly. Additionally, escalation procedures and CAPA management are important to handle deviations effectively and prevent recurrence. Finally, from a regulatory perspective, it's crucial to remember that qualified personnel remain fully accountable for GMP-related decisions. No matter how advanced our AI systems are, human accountability is the cornerstone of compliance and quality assurance. This balance between automation and human oversight ensures we meet regulatory expectations while maintaining the highest standards of patient safety and product quality. Let's talk about maintaining the validated state of our AI system throughout its entire life cycle. This is crucial because as the system evolves, we need to ensure it continues to perform reliably and safely. When we talk about change control requirements, we're emphasizing the importance of assessing any modifications before they are implemented. This includes impact assessment to understand how a change might affect the system's performance, safety, or compliance. Risk evaluation is also key. Identifying potential risks associated with changes helps us decide how to manage or mitigate them effectively. Alongside this, regression testing ensures that new updates or modifications haven't negatively affected the existing functionalities. Revalidation comes into play when significant changes are made. It's our way of confirming that the system still meets all validation criteria. Now, managing AI system changes involves a structured process. Whether it's updating the AI model, upgrading software, modifying datasets, or making infrastructure changes, each step must be carefully managed. Security enhancements are also a vital part of this process, protecting the system against vulnerabilities and ensuring data integrity. All these elements, impact assessment, risk evaluation, testing, revalidation, and controlled change management, are interconnected. They help us maintain trust in our AI systems and ensure that they remain effective and compliant throughout their life cycle. This continuous oversight aligns with our overall goal, delivering safe, reliable AI solutions that adapt responsibly over time. Let's talk about some potential consequences of not maintaining proper standards. One major issue is receiving FDA warning letters, which can seriously impact a company's reputation and operations. Data integrity observations are also common, and these can lead to product release delays, as regulators want to ensure everything is accurate and reliable before products hit the market. Additionally, increased regulatory scrutiny often follows, meaning more inspections and oversight. Now, when we look at the frequently observed deficiencies, we see some recurring audit findings that highlight where gaps often occur. For example, inadequate AI validation documentation is a big concern because it questions whether AI systems are properly tested and verified. Weak risk assessments can leave companies unprepared for potential issues, and insufficient audit trail review makes it harder to trace decisions or actions taken during development. Poor cybersecurity controls pose risks to data security and system integrity, while inadequate human oversight can lead to errors or unchecked biases. Another common problem is the lack of periodic review and revalidation, which can cause systems to become outdated or unreliable over time. And finally, unclear AI decision traceability makes it difficult to understand how decisions are made, raising questions about transparency and accountability. All these points underscore the importance of rigorous processes and continuous oversight to ensure compliance and maintain trust in our technologies and products. Let's now turn our attention to strengthening risk-based AI validation through recommended best practices. First, it's essential to apply ICH Q9 quality risk management principles, which help us systematically identify and mitigate risks associated with AI. Using the GAMP5 lifecycle validation approach provides a structured framework for ensuring AI systems are validated throughout their lifecycle, from development to retirement. Establishing robust AI governance frameworks is also critical. These set clear responsibilities, policies, and oversight mechanisms to keep AI aligned with regulatory and organizational expectations. Ensuring explainability of AI outputs is another key point. This means making sure that AI decisions can be understood and justified, which builds trust and supports validation efforts. Regular performance monitoring is vital too, as it helps us catch any drift or degradation in AI accuracy over time. Strengthening cybersecurity and access controls is fundamental to protect AI systems from malicious threats or unauthorized access. Training personnel on AI validation requirements ensures everyone involved understands their roles and responsibilities, fostering a culture of quality. And finally, maintaining strong QA oversight guarantees continuous compliance and quality throughout the AI lifecycle. Now, let's talk about continuous improvement. It's important to trend validation deviations and CAPAs, corrective and preventive actions, to identify patterns and prevent issues before they escalate. Conducting periodic compliance assessments helps ensure ongoing adherence to evolving regulations. We also need to monitor regulatory expectations that are always changing, so our validation practices stay current and effective. All these practices are interconnected and support our overall goal: to ensure AI systems are reliable, compliant, and continuously improving in a dynamic regulatory environment. Let's wrap up with some key takeaways. First, risk-based validation is absolutely essential when it comes to implementing AI in GMP environments. It helps ensure that the systems we use are compliant and reliable. Second, AI systems need enhanced controls. This means stronger validation processes, greater transparency, and maintaining data integrity. These elements are crucial for building trust and meeting regulatory standards. Next, conducting effective risk assessments really boosts system reliability and makes compliance efforts more efficient. By understanding potential risks early on, we can design better controls and responses. And of course, human oversight remains critical. No matter how advanced AI gets, human judgment is necessary for making informed GMP decisions. Finally, strong governance, cybersecurity measures, and solid lifecycle management are all vital to successful AI adoption. They provide the foundation for sustainable, compliant, and secure AI systems in our industry. So, in summary, balancing these elements will help us leverage AI effectively while maintaining the highest standards of quality and compliance. For further support, please feel free to contact us. We're here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We appreciate your interest and look forward to connecting with you.